Good afternoon and welcome to this podcast in the Balkan studio of International Balkan University. I'm Nikola Dacev and I'm Associate Professor and Dean of the Faculty of Law. And I will be the host in today's podcast that is related to one very important moment of the history of Republic of Turkey, when the people of Turkey stood united in the defense of democracy on the date of 15th of July 2016. Therefore, the title of this podcast is People's Victory, 15th July and the Defense of Democracy in Turkey. As an introduction, I would like to say that it was a night that was in which there was it started with a lot of fear. There was a chaos, uncertainty, because organized group in the military tried to launch a coup attempt and tried to overthrow the elected government. But what happened afterwards was really remarkable, and how the people of Turkey stood up and how they flooded the streets, defying the tanks, risking their lives and raising their voice in one very, very important and strong declaration that democracy cannot be silenced. To help to better understand what happened next and the legal and the constitutional and political implications of that event, the lasting impact it had on the Turkish democracy and the civil rights. Today we are honored to have our guest, Mr. Arlin Zekiri, who is a respected legal expert and attorney at law, also a business development director, who has follow these events from different perspectives, especially from the legal and civic perspective. And we will start with the first question. Will be basically with what happened that day, that night, and how the response of the President Erdogan and the Turkish government played a decisive role in mobilizing the people and defending democracy. Mr. Zekiri, welcome to our studio, and we can start with the first question.
Thank you for your invitation, and I was gladly to speak about the topic. Would not say that I'm the expert that knows quite well the region, but in the other hand, I testimonied from a different perspective back that time. As a citizen from North Macedonia, basically we have a quite big, so to say, roots and connection with the Turkish, not only politics but also society, and this consists in a huge history of our relations. And from today's perspective, when you do a legal analysis and the measures and the reforms that have been undertaken in the system as a preventer, that this never happens again, and this tragedy back that time, it's going to, I'm very sure, we know a lot of stories in the different countries where similar activities have happened and taken place. This is definitely going to be one of the most rare happenings because of the very unique leadership, which actually back that time, I remember that the government immediate reaction was, I would say, a turning point, having the coup's momentum, I would call it, which means we all remember the FaceTime video of President Erdogan, and where he mobilized, and he was his live appearance urging the citizens to take over the streets, and basically that was a segment of the population that actively and I would say in a much bigger level took over I would say, mobilization. And this leadership and the deep social commitments back the time were, to protect the democratic legitimacy, which I'm very, I would say, it's fundamental for me as a right. But at the time, I've also, in my entree, I was serving as a minister in the government of North Macedonia. Back the time, we had a different constitutional name of Macedonia, and our government, I would say, was one of the first, together with the president back the time, one of the first countries to support immediately the Turkish government. So without any calculations, without any further, I would say, diplomatic wording or call it as you wish, it was clearly an expansion of clarity, solidarity of the democratic institutions under threat. And what followed that night was I would call it extraordinary civic, which respond the prevention of the institutional collapse, and the damages would have been much. The damages were high, the price was high, but this, I would say, was a turning point in the Turkish political life.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zekiri. And of course, what comes afterwards as a follow-up, of course, the necessary steps, what the Turkish government did in order to restore the public order and to ensure stability of the democratic institutions. So can you tell us more about it, about these decisive steps that were really needed in order to do this in Republic of Turkey? So,
as far as I remember and recall, the government took over immediately, acted swiftly, and organized to stabilize the situation, to prevent, to overcome. There were analyses done of the, let's say, what was the threat, how to name it, and then it was clear what happened very quickly. And therefore, emergency measures were undertaken. Certain reforms were necessary in order not to that the situation would repeat. Then a certain let's say individual links to the entire storyline and attempt were identified. And they were completely affiliated with the FETÖ association or network, and they basically were removed from the key positions that they were holding and having back that time. So there were also different measures which showed as a case study that things were going and taking in a positive path.
Yes, so we can say that Turkey entered into a period of transformation. This collective resistance by the people, it became a symbol of national will and also civic courage. But beyond the immediate response to the dangers, to what basically happened, and defense of the democratic institutions, this post-coup period marked a period in which there was a redefining of the relationship between the people and the state. So with this in mind, we come to one very important question. In what ways the post-15 July period strengthened the national unity and reinforced the legitimacy of the democratically elected government?
So the citizens back the time, they definitely, I would say that everyone was talking around the idea that democracy cannot be overthrown by force, and this is something that in democratic societies it is clear how you would come to power and what is the role of a democracy. And also in Macedonia, the public reacted also in a way that because you measure better like that, you see the perspective of how a certain country will reflect. Specifically the strategic friends or neighboring countries that culturally they've been connected for a very long time. And I think the entire Turkish government used that momentum to underline all of this, let's say, democratic value and constitutional order, which was crucial to maintain and to, of course, the experience of the people and the importance of the elected authorities, where the risk of undermining it through different undemocratic means, and this is exactly what happened in my view.
Okay, thank you. And a couple of more questions. Since the failed coup attempt, the Turkish government has placed some emphasis on remembering these events of that night. So it took some actions like annual commemorations, like public messaging, educational initiatives, national symbols, and so on. So can you tell me about how the government narrative and commemoration shaped the national identity and civic responsibility in the years since the coup attempt?
I think it's very important never to forget, in principle, the past. With the past, you usually build the future, and with preventing or putting order in something that was missing or that was gap that could be a potential threat to the security and to the democratic orientation of a society and a country. In my view, it's a crucial point that actually you can only be careful not to repeat, I would say, the same potential risk by remembering the history, by putting all the necessary efforts to let the people exactly remember what does a strong leadership means in a certain crisis. And I would not we see it today that it's not because you need to compare the Turkey's leadership if it was by accident back that time, the happenings, or it's a strong leadership. And if we see and do I would say, I call it a new world order now, with the old geopolitical crisis, it's clear that Turkey is playing a crucial role in the global diplomacy, and having this neutral role, bringing together Russia and Ukraine in the table, one of the first countries to manage to do that, then also having a serious impact in the region, not only Syria's happenings and also the latest developments with Iran. Turkey was definitely a country that showed its leadership and capacity on building trust among many nations and governments. And my point is that how was defended democracy on the 15th of July reflects on the leadership in exactly in futures.
Of course, it's the 9th year, so yes, we can see what the implications. So a lot of time has passed, and also a lot of things have happened globally, and we can see the importance of the role of Republic of Turkey globally. So, and strong leadership back then, and what kind of influences it has also nowadays. And the last question would be related to the institutions. Of course, this failed coup attempt was what was, let's say, logical, was that it exposed these vulnerabilities, I can say, within the institutional and legal framework. So the government had to take some set of reforms, legal measures to strengthen the democratic resilience. of the country, and the institutional integrity as well, and of course to prevent future subversions of the constitutional order. Therefore, I would like to ask what institutional reforms and legal actions taken by the government after 15th of July has helped safeguard Turkey from future threats to democracy.
Like every challenge, in order to make sure that you need not to repeat it, and you need to bring better solutions for and prevent situations, I think that Turkey undertook deep institutional reforms back that time, particularly in the armed armed forces and judiciary. And the aim was to ensure greater civilian control in the system. And what else? I would say that the reduced internal fragmentation and all of this that would cause as a side effect was also crucial to adopt and build resilience against unlawful disruption of democratic order. I think it was crucial. And all of these reforms were closely followed by many neighbor countries, because it's the domino effect or side effect of these happenings helped also different governments to work on the security and to protect the democracy in the way that as the testimonial, in this case, Turkey leadership did it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zekiri. Thank you for your insightful perspectives on this very important topic. Of course, it's a very comprehensive topic. It can be analyzed from various aspects. This podcast was planned to last around 15 minutes, so I know it's impossible that we can explain everything in details, but I think that you have really contributed a lot with your profound insights on this topic. Thank you for accepting our invitation for this podcast. If you have anything to add, you may, or we can conclude the podcast.
Thank you very much, Professor, for inviting me, and also I'm very glad to more often be around the university, and IBU shows that not only contributes in educating new generations, but also in bringing add value in the different aspects in the, I would say, not on the political, but also geopolitical understanding. And this is something where we can always learn, always reflect, and always improve. And I think that's crucial of an educational institution strategy and goal should be. So thank you again, and happy to be again soon in the next topics.
Thank you. Of course, we will have hopefully other topics that we're going to analyze, and not just this topic. So we have a lot of things to talk about in the future, and hopefully we'll have other podcasts as well. Thanks a lot. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.